Why? What did you say?
He said. Right in front of me.
Oh. Yeah, and I think I said.
David does do what it is.
Who's going to have control of that pipeline? Yeah. Right?
A man's taking over here. Yeah, but the dog just today.
I was really hoping that I could tell you today that Kim Rivera is not going to be deported. Yay!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Anyways, you were saying something.
Thank you. I was really hoping I'd be able to tell you that she wasn't going to be deported, that our federal government saw the evil of their ways and were going to give her a stay, but that's not the case. There was no stay granted. So unless Minister Kenney intervenes at the 11th hour, which he has the capacity to do, she will be deported. She'll be escorted to the border with her husband and her 4 young children tomorrow, and she'll be taken into custody by the U.S. government. I can't say that I'm really surprised, but I mean, there's been so much outpouring and so much work done in this community and communities across the country on this issue for years now, and still the government refuses to listen. So I don't know if any of you had an opportunity to meet Kim Rivera, but I did. She was here for an event at King's College last year, or maybe the year before. An amazingly strong woman. She joined the army because she thought it was the right thing to do. And when she was deployed to Iraq and realized that it was absolutely the wrong thing to do, she did the right thing and she left. She decided to protect her family and come to Canada in the hopes that our country would stand by our traditions and support her and allow her to stay. So I want to read to you what she says. I, Kimberly Rivera, was assigned to the Unit 217 Field Artillery August 2006 and was shipped with my unit to Baghdad, Iraq. Despite feeling that this was the wrong thing for me and my family, I was obligated to follow orders. Me and my unit left the States on the 3rd of October 2006. While in Iraq, losing soldiers and civilians was a part of daily life. I was a gate guard. This position was the highest of security for a forward operation base, being that we searched vehicles, civilian personnel, and military convoys that left and came back every hour. After a huge awakening in the lives of civilians who don't get to escape the trauma or the pain and the loss of people they love, I was seeing the truth, and it wasn't pretty. Seeing the war as it truly is. People losing their lives for greed of a nation, and still some people can't see the lies behind the media. The effects on the soldiers who come back with new problems such as nightmares, anxieties, depression, anger, alcohol abuse, and missing limbs and scars from burns, and some don't come back at all. To find a better future, that is my goal for my kids. Me and my family left our little home in Mesquite, Texas, and drove to Canada and crossed Rainbow Bridge on February 18th, 2007. This begins a new chapter filled with new opportunities and hope for my family. This journey has brought the title of the first female war resister in Canada. I'm just glad I get to be a mom again. She obviously wrote that before the decision came down today. She had 2 children while she was living in Canada and is an active member of the Parkdale community in Toronto. Minister Kenney has dragged his heels on her humanitarian and compassionate application. She applied in 2009 and has been waiting 3 long years, and he still has the power to stop this deportation. So tonight we hope to get as many of these letters signed and get them on his desk for whatever it's worth, and make sure he knows loud and clear that we do not support this deportation and that we want her to stay in our community.
Here, here. Yeah.
Now, as you know, David Heap has been a really active member of the War Resisters community here in London, and has been out to every single event. Today he's off gallivanting somewhere in Europe, but he did send some words that Sumbul is going to read for us.
Have to come up there.
No, just belt it out.
Like us and like most of humanity, Kim Rivera opposed the U.S. occupation of Iraq, but unlike most of us, she took a courageous stand to act on her principles and left behind her home to come to Canada. We have to support her courageous choice in the face of the cowardly, hypocritic government that wants to deport her. Kim is also like us in believing that Canada is a country that opposed and still opposes the occupation of Iraq. As well, a country supports conscientious objection. This belief is supported by numerous national polls and 2 majority votes of the House of Commons. Minister Kenney and his cowardly caucus know that they're in a minority of opinion in this country when they deport Kim and other war resistors to face prison and discriminatory sentencing in U.S. military courts. Kim also made a choice most of us would find quite difficult, leaving her home to come to an unknown country because she cared about her family and a peaceful future for her children as we do. Now she and her family are facing a brutal separation through no fault of their own, but because some rich guys in Ottawa want to keep fighting W's last war on behalf of the corporate 1% that always profits from war and occupation. Not in our name. Minister Kenney's staff had the gall to lie yesterday when some of us called his office claiming that there's nothing he could do now. The case is in the hands of another minister.
Shame.
This is false. False.
Shame!
The Minister of Immigration always has the authority to grant a stay of deportation on humanitarian and compassionate grounds, which was denied today. We are here to demand a measure of truth from these dishonest politicians and to expose their lies publicly. Kim is facing a high price for a peaceful stand, a stand on principles which we all share, as do most people in this country. We continue to stand with Kim and her family today and throughout this process. They deserve our support and so do the other war resistors who come through our community and other communities across the country. We also continue to stand with Kim and other war resistors because the Harpercrats, Kenney,
Taves.
and Commander Steve, as well as our local con MPs Holder, Coupe, and Preston, need to be reminded constantly that they do not speak for us, nor for most people in this country. Let's remind them to, just listen to the nation, stop the deportation, and that most Canadians say, let war resistors stay. Either one of these, okay, let war resistors stay.
Yes, listen to the nation, stop the deportations. Listen to the nation, stop the deportations. Listen to the nation, stop the deportations. I have to read 2 statements from 2 war resistors who were lucky enough not to be deported, not because of humanitarian grounds, but because they had other circumstances in their lives that prevented the government from being able to deport them. One is Tim Richard. He lived in London for a long time and has now moved to Kitchener. So he couldn't be here, but he says, to all my friends, greetings. I wish I could be there with you today, but unfortunately I have other commitments. It was hard to think of something to say. It's hard to think of things when sometimes you feel discouraged or sometimes even unsure about your own cause. After all, it's been a hard couple of years for the War Resistors movement. I've seen the deportation of my friends. I've seen how we seem to be losing what political gains we've made. We've all seen how our country seems to be slipping back into the hands of people who are more willing to focus on making profit over helping their fellow human being. It's times like these it seems to make sense to throw in the towel and hope for a better tomorrow. So why should we fight? Why is it necessary to fight when it seems like the world is against us? Because we must. If we don't fight, if we remain silent in the face of wrong, then we're complicit with those who commit the wrongs. If we don't stand up for what is right, even when we feel the weight of the world against us, then who? We feel sometimes that this is a quixotic quest, but we must continue on and work for a better tomorrow. In the end, we might lose, but it's not in the winning or losing. It's that we fought and we fight for a better world, a better future, but I still prefer to win.
Here. That's from one of our local businesses.
And the second one I have is from Josh Randall, who does live in London, but he had another commitment and he really wanted to be here. And he's been really active Let me begin by saying thank you for the support you're giving Kim Rivera and the war resistant movement. Every single one of you standing here today exemplify what it means to be a true Canadian. More importantly, a true person. My friends, I believe that one day we can cast off the iron chains of war that burden our souls. I know that one day we can live in a world that's fair and equitable to all, regardless of faith, race, or sex. Will it be difficult to achieve that world? Yes. In fact, sometimes it will seem impossible. I would love to say it would be easy if we just stand together and fight. But in reality, your dream, Kim's dream, my dream, and many others' dream of a peaceful world is only going to exist after a long, hard-fought battle with many tears shed and much innocent blood spilled. There will be dark and dangerous days ahead. There will be tragic losses and amazing victories. Those who oppose the status quo of selfish greed, war, murder, and belittlement will be prosecuted in ways I dare not imagine. But my friends, fear not and have hope that we will win this battle for peace. I believe that our hopes and dreams will come to fruition in my lifetime with my generation. Will there be days when we want to give up? Yes, and there will be more than we think. Will there be days that we wonder if our fight, our energy, our heartache is worth it? Yes, but remember during those rough times when the tears are the greatest, remember why it's important to fight. Everyone standing here has witnessed something in the world that they couldn't sit idly by and let happen. For some of you, it may have been the homeless man freezing to death on the street on a cold winter night. You may have said to yourself, I can't let this happen. For some, it may have been watching entire civilizations reduced to ruins by bombing campaigns while you said to yourself, not in my name. For some, it may have been the existence of starvation, the foreclosure of your brother's house, or the foreclosure of your own. Some of you, like me, may have been so accustomed to the status quo to harsher realities to cause us to draw the line in the sand and challenge the current path of our society. The kind of realities that haunt your dreams with the screams of children in agony. These memories and actions may not be the ones we want to think of in difficult times, but they're events in our lives that drive us to make the change and shape how we view the world. We have our motivations and we know it's going to be hard to stop senseless war, hunger, and exploitation of humans and nature. But how do we go about ending war, hunger, and selfish greed? How? As it's said in the network, you've got to get mad. You've got to yell at the top of your lungs, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore!
I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore!
I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore!
I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore!
I'm mad as hell and I'm not gonna take it anymore! Use your lungs, people.
Take our sticks and draw a line in the sand and say no more. We look at the Harpers, the Troupes, the Holders, the Bairds, and the Kennys, and all those that oppose things that are good and peaceful, and we look them dead in the eye and say, I am not going to let you ruin people's lives anymore. But we can't stop there. We have to take one more difficult step. We have to stand in front of them and not let them, period. I have faith that we will win this and many other fights. I stand in solidarity with you all. I look forward to winning this battle with you. That's from John.
Your hair.
So the fight, I mean, it's very discouraging what happened today. But as I said, Jason
Kenny?
Stephen Kenny and Jason Harper. Same thing.
Yeah, they're totally interchangeable.
Interchangeable.
Really deep.
That's right. He still has the ability to stop this deportation under humanitarian grounds. So if you haven't signed this letter already, please do. If you can take some with you tonight, there's a few left over. Get them out, get them back to the minister's office as soon as possible. Flood his phone line, flood his email, flood his fax. Make sure he knows how angry we are about this decision and that we demand that he overturn it. And hopefully, in the morning we'll wake up and we'll find out that Kim Rivera and her family are going to stay in Canada.